Hello， 大家好，欢迎回到外媒看中国，我是安博然。Today I'll share a terrifying video out of Canadian media of a Canadian military aircraft being harassed by a Chinese PLA fighter jet. Is China planning to invade Canada? Well, let's check where this heart-stopping incident took place. Was it in Hudson Bay? Was it off the coast of British Columbia? The answer will shock you. And I'll also explain how Western militaries are blatantly ignoring international rules that they're meant to follow during interception, pointlessly putting lives at risk while lying to the Western media about it. This is Reports on China. I'm Andy Borham here in Shanghai. Let's get reporting. Firstly, though, let's take a quick look at my upcoming short documentary on Indonesia's new high-speed railway, the final part of my Belt and Road Initiative series.
Hello, apa kabar? 大家好. I'm here on top of an active volcano in Bandung, Indonesia, after just having ridden the brand new China-built high-speed railway from Jakarta to here. But what has it all got to do with volcanoes? Keep watching to find out. I'm Andy Borham here in Indonesia. This is a special edition of Reports on China.
Gridlocked, Indonesia's high-speed train is in the final stages of editing and should be released very soon. The Western media blew up this month with news of yet another Chinese PLA aircraft intercepting foreign military aircraft that have flown halfway around the world to do only God knows what on China's doorstep. This time it was a rickety old Canadian CP-140 aircraft that was, you guessed it, conveniently carrying reporters. Why? Well, I think you already know the answer. To create yet more China threat news reports to keep their public in fear. Let's check out a bit of their scaremongering.
A Chinese jet carrying air-to-air missiles was doing what Major General Ian Huddleston describes as dangerous maneuvers within close proximity to a Canadian military plane.
They became very aggressive and to a degree that we would deem it unsafe and unprofessional.
He said the Chinese jet also launched multiple flares near the front of the Canadian plane, causing further concern.
This Chinese fighter jet intercepting this Canadian Armed Forces Aurora plane is within a few meters of the wing.
Now, from watching that clip, you might assume the reporter is filming a Chinese PLA invasion of Canada, when in actual fact, that rickety old aircraft has flown halfway around the globe, 10,000 kilometers away from Canada, to fly up and down China's coast. Firstly, take a quick look at this picture of the clunker they were flying. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the PLA intercepted that old thing just to make sure it was actually airworthy. The West loves to fly around the world to harass China with military aircraft and then complain when they are intercepted, but they tend to always forget to mention that the interception of aircraft is not only completely legal, but it's a regular occurrence. And they also conveniently forget to mention that they're actually breaking international rules by dangerously ignoring interception standards. The FAA has a handy guide online for pilots to learn in the event of being intercepted, which shows that China is following the rules and that the foreign military aircraft are blatantly ignoring them. Here it says that if a military aircraft approaches from the pilot's side, which is the left-hand side, and matches the speed and heading of your aircraft, this is the international signal that an aircraft has officially been intercepted. This is perfectly displayed here by the Canadian reporter. But next, she complains that Chinese PLA jets have, in the past, released flares and cut in front of foreign aircraft. But she doesn't mention at all that this is also common practice in the interception of aircraft. Let's go back to the FAA's handy guide. Here they say that if a military aircraft initiates an abrupt turn across the nose and or releases flares, this is a signal to immediately turn and follow the fighter jet. Now, these are procedures that even the US military conducts when intercepting aircraft, and they understand them explicitly. So why then do they refuse to safely follow the PLA jet, presumably away from Chinese territory? Well, that's because Western governments are stubborn and cocky and absolutely believe that they rule the world, to the point where they can fly their military aircraft to the doorstep of China and blatantly refuse to follow international rules when intercepted by China's military. Hilariously, the US Department of Defense has complained about being intercepted by Chinese aircraft at an increasing rate over the past few years as they fly aggressively close to China. Their title: US accuses China of conducting centralized, concerted campaign of harassment of aircraft. LOL. Check out this absolutely tone-deaf statement about US aircraft and warships going halfway around the world to harass China. There is no need for this behavior. For decades, the United States has operated in the region safely, responsibly, and in accordance with international law, and we will continue to do so, Ratner said. Our allies and partners welcome our military presence because it advances our shared vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific. This vision is characterized by respect for sovereignty, adherence to international law, belief in transparency and openness, freedom of commerce and navigation, equal rights for all states, and the resolution of disputes through peaceful means, not through coercion or conquest. Okay, well, think about this scenario, seriously. What do you think would happen if China's PLA started flying aircraft and taking warships right off the coast of California in international waters? What do you think would happen if they flew peaceful missions between the US and Cuba? And then when Washington complained, the Chinese government just said, "We're just flying ordinary missions in international waters as part of our goals of keeping the world safe and transparent." Well, you just need to remember the US's reaction when a Chinese weather balloon, which the Pentagon finally admitted was not collecting any data whatsoever, blew off course and flew over the US. They went absolutely bonkers. This inability to take a walk in someone else's shoes and see how they would feel if the situation was reversed just goes to show the West's hideous idea that they somehow rule the world. Chinese PLA interceptions have increased over the past few years because the world is rapidly changing, you guys, and it's something you need to get used to ASAP. The dominance of the US-led West is crumbling at an accelerated rate, and a fairer, more democratic, unipolar world is just around the corner. Well, that will be about it for today, you guys, but as always, I'd love to know what you think, so do let me know down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time.